Welcome back, friends. Blessed are the peacemakers, order restored within and without. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Matthew 5:9. Aquinas, Virtue and Gift. Aquinas defines peace as the tranquility of order. Peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the right ordering of desires under reason and charity. He connects this beatitude with the virtue of charity itself because charity unites the will to God and, through God, to neighbor. The gift of wisdom perfects this union by enabling the soul to judge all things according to divine order. Wisdom sees from above. It perceives how parts belong within a whole. Peacemaking then begins interiorly. If the soul is disordered within, it cannot produce order without. To be called sons of God is to resemble the one who reconciles. Augustine teaches that the Son is the perfect image of the Father, and that we become sons by conformity to divine charity. Peace is resemblance. Disorder appetite healed. The disorder healed here is division. Division can arise from pride, anger, envy, rivalry, or ambition. Aquinas teaches that discord becomes sinful when it resists unity in good. Unity in error is not peace, but resistance to rightful unity fractures charity. Sometimes we justify division under the language of principle. At other times, we avoid necessary correction to preserve superficial calm. Both distort peace. Augustine warns that this love of self carried to contempt of God builds the city of man, while love of God carried even to contempt of self builds the city of God. Peace depends on which love governs us. True peace integrates justice and mercy within charity. It neither collapses into indulgence nor hardens into severity. Peacemaking requires courage, clarity, and restraint. Link to the Lenten pillar integration of all three. This beatitude gathers the previous disciplines. Prayer orders the soul toward God, fasting disciplines appetite, almsgiving restores justice towards neighbor. When these operate together, peace becomes possible. Aquinas notes that external peace depends upon interior order. Lent trains that interior order so that reconciliation becomes credible. Traditional penitential guides remind the faithful that charity must be restored before communion is received. Reconciliation is not an accessory, it is preparation. Peacemaking is not activism alone. It is sanctified order radiating outward. Examination of conscience. Examine this beatitude with seriousness. Where have I contributed to division? Do I spread tension through speech? Have I refused reconciliation when it was possible? Do I cling to grievances that prevent unity? Have I confused silence with peace when truth required courage? Peace asks whether I build unity in truth.
Yes, people they want, I don't know, people to get along without all of that background, right? We want the effect without the results. I mean, without the effort, I guess, right? And that's a real problem because peace, the absence of peace, is not war, right? Or the absence of these are, again, they're not contradictions, right? When somebody is if somebody is fighting a war, it doesn't mean that peace is gone, right? It could be that peace is in process, right? And if there is no war that's going on, that doesn't mean that you're at peace. It could mean that you're not doing justice. It could mean that you're not giving alms, right? It could be that you're not being merciful. There could be a whole host of things that are going on there. So silence and peace often are confused as synonyms, right? But they're not in fact synonyms. They have similarities, and generally, maybe when your house is peaceful, it's quiet. Right? But that doesn't mean that that the people who are inside the home, you can be very, very angry. Everyone in the home could be very, very angry, and you could have a very, very silent home. Right? So, yeah, just be cognizant of that. That sometimes to affect peace is going to require, I don't know, an engagement with truth. Sometimes that does seem, when another person in your life does not want to engage with truth, that can give the appearance of conflict, but it does not mean that you're not seeking peace.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right. Confessional preparation. In confession, the soul is reconciled first with God. From that reconciliation flows restored relationship with others. Aquinas teaches that charity is the form of all the virtues. Without charity, even correct actions lack unity. Discord is ultimately a wound against charity. Prepare for confession by identifying relationships in need of repair. Name resentment, gossip, rivalry, or avoidance. Consider whether restitution or apology is required. Augustine insists that the peace of the heart precedes the peace of the city. Confession restores that interior peace so that exterior peace may follow. Absolution restores divine sonship by restoring charity. Orientation toward the promise. The promise is identity. They shall be called sons of God. Sonship implies resemblance. God reconciles the world to himself. The peacemaker participates in that work. Peace is not weakness, it is the fruit of ordered love. When love is rightly ordered, unity becomes possible without compromise of truth. A Lenten reflection. Identify one strained relationship. Take one concrete step toward reconciliation this week. It may be a conversation. It may be a written note. It may be a silent prayer for the good of the other. Let peace begin with initiative. Begin there.
You think of the division that was created by sin and the effort with which God came to restore that division. Right? I mean, it really is an awesome undertaking when you think of the fact that the God of the universe, to bring about a restitution, was willing to come into the world as a tiny babe, to have to grow up, learn to grow in age, grace, and wisdom, right? And then to have to suffer the death that is rightfully our punishment. So when we're looking at what our Lord did to restore peace, we certainly should be willing to make those accommodations, right? To become humble again, to be willing to grow in age, grace, and wisdom before God, and to even die to ourselves, if that is what is called for, to try and restore relationship, to break division, to end that strife. Sometimes, it's not possible, insofar as that peace requires the cooperation of other people. Our Lord knew that even though he came to bring peace, that many people were going to continue to sow division, right? There is the great division at the end. There will be people who go to heaven and there will be people who go to hell. But so it's not the success that our Lord is looking for as much as it is ourselves engaging with peace as he did, right? Humility, forgiveness, mercy, all of these things leading up to that, to take the book of the Beatitudes until it brings us to this moment of peace, is really going to be the goal, right? Not, you can lead the horse to water, right? But you can't make it drink. So you can't make somebody be in a peaceable relationship with you, but you yourself can be of the mindset that you bear no malice.
And uh, that is exactly right. And we are not exempt from it, right? We have to pray for our enemies. We have to forgive those who hurt us. We have no choice in the matter.
Right.
Um, I think we have a beautiful show, and if I get to it, I probably will. I'll have a link on forgiveness, that process of forgiveness. It cannot be uh, referred to too many times. Thank you for bringing that to our minds. Yes, um, it's it's not an option. It's not an option, and just to gild the lily, if you will, it's not an option because the Lord knows it's fundamental to our happiness.
Right.
That's why we have to do it. That's why he tells us we have to do it, even though we don't want to. And we keep score and we're with Peter. Hey, I did a great job. No. He wants our full
Absolutely.
restitution.
And our Lord is very clear with that, where he says, if
He's
you
clear.
give peace to another and they don't want it, it comes back to you. Right? I mean, so our Lord can't be outdone in generosity. Either you are in peace with your brother, or our Lord doubles your peace when
That's right.
you are rightly ordered.
That's right. That's right. All right, friends. Let's see what we have to say about being persecuted because it comes right after this one.
Yes.
Till then, Fides, Raj.